All right. Welcome back to Basement Tapes 147 on that 70s Card Show channels, both on YouTube and podcast mechanisms. We're here to ponder maybe for a minute. I have to get myself set up here. I think I screwed the pooch, but interesting to consider again in the mid 1960s here, the football setup. We had several players, Fleer, we had Topps, and we have Philadelphia Gum, obviously. But there was all sorts of weirdness happening in those markets, and it makes you kind of wonder what was going on because we know from some of our baseball history books how the Shorin family was pretty adamant about maintaining their monopolies, especially in baseball. And it just makes me wonder what they were going through on the football end of things. Because again, with all that flux, they didn't have it locked in, and baseball was locked in. There was no doubt about it. The players were locked in. Everybody was in cahoots, as they say. But for some reason, football, they just couldn't get their affairs in order there. So, uh, trying to trying to get trying to get the set I'm trying to talk about here in, but it's not loading for whatever reasons. Maybe Beckett's running a little slow today, but if they were to try to win the hearts and minds of a company or a league back, and I'm talking about Topps in particular, they certainly weren't doing a very good job with their football issues after they lost the NFL. Of course, they were doing the AFL, and we're going to talk now in Basement Tapes 147 about the CFL. So I've got one of these cards, full disclosure, $5.08 average value for the 132 cards, which puts us at $670 total. A set of these about $350 to $600. This one came to me in part of a bunch, perhaps a Mike O collection or a Mike O stack sale. But when I see stuff like this, of course, I need to have it. It says here the 1965 Topps CFL set features 132 cards ordered by teams, which are alphabetical order, with players also in alphabetical order. Card numbers 60, 1 through 60, and 132, 61 through 132 are checklist cards. Dean Sutherland, number 57, has number 51 on the back. Although the TCG trademark appears on the cards, they were printed in Canada by the fine folks at OPG. Again, I have one of these, 131 to go. Let's look at the perceived top three, I guess, according to Beckett OPG. It's a checklist, 132, a checklist, number 60, and card number 98. World famous Canadian Football League player, George Reed. Let's go over to TCDB. The cards are interesting, to say the least. The teams represented are the British Columbia Lions, the Calgary Stampeders, the Edmonton Eskimos, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, the Montreal Alouettes, the Ottawa Rough Riders, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, the Toronto Argonauts, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Perhaps my friend Gary can explain to me why there is a Rough Riders and there is a Rough Riders. Not quite sure. They never hammered out their differences there, I guess. Hall of Famers here, there's 38 of them, and all of them are in the Canadian Hall of Fame here. There are no American Football League, NFL Football League, Gringo Football League, whatever you Canadians call us, Yankees. They're all Canadian football leaguers. I guess one of the most famous would be Joe Cap for the British Columbia Lions. Inserted and related sets. There are transfers involved here. I don't have much data on that. The comments from C. Nangle say this is a good-looking set. I think Topps did a great job on the back. Plus, this set includes one of my favorite Minnesota Vikings, Joe Cap. Let's look at the gallery because there are some cards, like card number 1, Neil Beaumont for the British Columbia Lions. We say BC Lions for those who are honorary Canadians. His card does not look very good, if you ask me. The backs do look nice. Tom Brown doesn't look very good. This looks like Topps literally mailed these things in on the front of an envelope. They are not the best effort. Interesting two-tone backs there, green and blue. That the rank of tackle and the team name British Columbia Lions, and Lonnie Danis is prominently displayed on the top of the cards of card number 6. We'll try to get through this a little bit. The uniforms are interesting too, right? It's fun to look at the BC Lions uniforms, something we're not used to seeing here down below the equator or wherever we are. The Calgary Stampeders look suspiciously like Philadelphia Eagles. Perhaps I'm just sensitive to that. The Edmonton Eskimos, a fun little combo of yellow and brown. I like that more than the orange and brown of the Cleveland Browns, to tell you the truth. Look at that Jim Battle uniform on card number 31. Beautiful socks, beautiful pants, beautiful shirt. Just think that is a classy setup for that team. Good colors, good uniforms. The Montreal Alouettes are playing in a different language, and they are wearing classic white pants with red jerseys. Look a lot like the New England Patriots in those uniforms. Who wore it better, I would say? I would say the Montreal Alouettes did. Anyway, fun cards from players that didn't quite make it or have big careers in the NFL, but yet were able to play the sport they love. During the summer, I think, in a field that's longer than normal in Canada way. Let's look at the back of one of these cards. Card number 128, Frank Rigney. He is a tackle with the Blue Bombers. He's 6'4", he weighs 233, and he is age 20-something, 29 or 23. It says here, Rigney was named to the Western Conference All-Stars 4 times. A nice tackle going on there. I can read the back here. It says 8th year with the Bombers, born in East St. Louis, played college ball for the University of Iowa, and participated in both the North-South and Senior Bowls. Drafted by Philadelphia. And if you're French, it says à ce retourné season à la vous club, il est né East St. Louis, a joué pour l'Université d'Iowa et a participé au party Nordside à la Bowl Senior. Il avait été repêché par le club Philadelphia. So that's it for that. That tells you everything you need to know about Frank Rigney. I learned my French, believe it or not, during the pandemic by listening to Rosetta Stone and Jerry Lewis routines. Last card again is the checklist, and 132, obviously our big banger because it is the last card in the set. And also, if it's unmarked, then you will have done what most other boys and girls were not able to do and all that stuff. So anyway, all the good ones are in there from the 1965 Topps Canadian Football League set. I'm sure CFL history was made. These folks were playing in summer conditions, I believe, in Canada, which is probably one of the most, relaxing times to play a sport outdoors, summertime in Canada. So that's it. Basement Tapes 147, 1965 Topps /OPG Canadian Football Leaguers.